If you clicked on this video, shadow work is calling your name, and this is why. Welcome back, beautiful souls, to the channel. I'm Shika, your conscious mentor, and on this channel we talk about all things spirituality, wellness, entrepreneurship, and social media for conscious souls like you. I am so excited because today I am finally doing a video on a very requested question: shadow work. What is shadow work, and why is it so important in order for us to do shadow work, for us to have an abundant life, to manifest whatever we want, and so much more? Today I'm going to be going into the definition of what shadow work is, as well as the 5 main reasons why you should deep dive into shadow work. Before we get into the video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, as well as put notification bells. I do videos every single day for you amazing, beautiful souls, and I'm so grateful for you. Thank you for more healings and to be part of the community as more content. Don't forget to join our Patreon. And if you are looking to expand your conscious self, do some shadow work yourself, make sure you apply for our conscious mentoring down below. It's linked down below. I do energy healing and so much more, so you can go apply for that. And today's subscriber of the day is Shika. Thank you so much for being part of this amazing family. I am so grateful for each and every single one of you. Let's get into the video. So let's first start with what is shadow work. This has been a word that has been taken into, I guess, more popular demand of asking people what it is, because we are living in this new conscious age where more and more people are deep diving into understanding that their wellness, their mind, their body, their soul should be a very important priority. And with everything going on, I think it's even more of a reason why we should be deep diving into shadow work and doing the inner work. Shadow work is deep diving into the subconscious, conscious mindset, and looking into our real beliefs, our core self, who our true self is. I heard this quote and it just stuck with me, and I was like, you know what, I have to share this with you guys. Shadow work is when you think of the person that you don't like, or someone that you have this emotion or anger to, and you write it down on a piece of paper of everything about that person. You have their name at the top of the paper. And then what you do is you erase that name and you put your name there. That is shadow work. It's understanding that every perspective that we have in our life is built to us by a lesson, by an experience, by a trauma. And as conscious souls having this human experience that we are having, one of the biggest things I always like to share with you is to remind you that we are constantly going through experiences, knowing things, seeing things on a day-to-day basis. Our senses, our intuition is always activated. However, some of us choose to connect with it more and follow into that space. So when we look into shadow work is going into understanding, why do I don't like the smell of roses? Why do I not like a certain country? Why do I not like when someone does this habit? There is a belief that was taught to you through your experiences, or something that possibly happened. And as energetic beings, as everything is energy, as we know, a thought becomes energy, everything, person, every aspect of our universe is energy. We hold these energies in our body even years later. Now, if you've never had time to release it, if you've never had time to feel safe to do so, you have all of this that's coming into it, and eventually it builds and it creates chapters and chapters of inner core beliefs within yourself. A lot of shadow work is done based on our childhood. So coming into this world, we're young, innocent babies with so much love and light and wanting to see the world. And then what happens is we go into this masculine energy environment in society that most of us live in. And in this masculine energy society that we're now transitioning into this balance, which is so beautiful to see, that we are completely shifting our world right now. We are going through this huge embark of just rebirthing, and structures are changing. And in doing that, more and more people are being called to do shadow work, soul work, inner deep work, core work. And that is honestly, when you can deep dive into that, understanding a little bit more about you and what makes who you are, it makes it so much easier to, attract money, to put your heart in your business, to be open to love, to not self-sabotage things, to be feeling safe to heal in a certain space. All these things is shadow work. Shadow work is being able to get closer to your true self, especially after huge changes that you possibly have been going through, life changes, or even just finding out through a spiritual awakening that you're going through this huge shift. Even those who aren't going through that, it is important that we do shadow work continuously. I always say that shadow work never ends. It only ends when the journey of our life does. And that's because we're continuously learning through every experience in our life how it makes us a better being, a more conscious soul that we are. Now that you know what shadow work is, let's get into why shadow work is so important in order for us to have a happy, abundant, manifester life that we want, and all of us want. You guys always ask me, Shika, how do I manifest anything? How do I attract the life I want? How do I change my mindset? How do I stop being that self-sabotaging voice in my mind? All those questions that you have, this is the answer: shadow work. So I'm going to deep dive into how can you do the shadow work, and what ways and why you should do shadow work in order to help you be happy, to be peaceful, to be fulfilled in your life. First reason why shadow work should be considered, especially if you are manifesting or on this journey on spirituality and growth, is self-sabotaging and fear. If you're someone who tends to be quite fearful of things, or maybe you have a certain decision of building a business, having a child, having that talk with your partner about kids or what we're going to do in our future, and all those, difficult conversations of we will, that is subconsciously in our mind, that's shadow work. It's understanding, why are we scared of things? Why do we put fear in front of everything that we've done, or in front of certain things in our life? And that, that fear, that illusion that we create in our mind is self-sabotaging. Self-sabotaging based on maybe an experience you had as a child, maybe an event that you witnessed, maybe a trauma, whatever it may be. It's deep rooting that specific issue, and it's coming back to it and saying, why do you have that? Why have you gone through this? And if you didn't have time to process it, it's removing those beliefs. It's allowing yourself to release, to surrender, to feel trusted, to believe and to trust the divine and the universe to support you and to have support. And I always tell you guys a lot, and you will see this a lot referring to it, energy healing is a great way to do shadow work. It shifted my life completely. When I went through the most traumatic situation in my life, it triggered other things from my childhood that happened that I actually hid in my subconscious because I didn't want to remember it anymore. I didn't process it. I didn't have time to process it. I didn't want to process it. I was living on fear. I was living in anxiety, and anxiety is an energetic word or feeling of fear that comes from our self-sabotaging thoughts of thinking of what could happen or what was. So when we go into energy work, when we go into shadow work, when we go into deep diving in these beliefs, that's when we can really eliminate them and remove them and allow you to be the power within your own decisions, to remove fear and just to do it, to know intuitively what you need to do in every decision that comes your way. Number 2, you are worthy. I feel like this is something that comes to me, and I'm sure if this relates to you, let me know in the comments down below. I used to be over 200 pounds, and whenever I would look at myself in the mirror, I just felt and saw not the person I wanted to be. And that's one of the things that I felt with shadow work and deep diving into inner healing and energy healing. It was loving myself. And you guys know that I talk a lot about mirror work. Mirror work is part of that shadow work. That's an example of it. It's looking into the soul, it's looking into the body, it's observing the art of our body and how beautiful it is that we have been given this, that we are creators of our body, that we can create bodies. That is insane, and how our body adapts to it. And being able to grow from childhood to teen, to adult, to an elder, to, these stages of our life that are just so beautiful. Now, if we've had certain beliefs that have been inputted in our minds, such as what is a perfect body? Or what is growing old really like? Or is growing old something that you're scared of? Those things are beliefs that were either taught or you witnessed through experiences. It can also be from an experience that you have gone through, maybe going through seeing someone that has passed away. So here, knowing that you're worthy, and why this relates to that is because this goes into our solar plexus. It's how we see ourselves in society. It's how we see ourselves within ourselves. And a lot of us tend to just ignore and live in this workaholic mindset of being busy, so we don't actually sit with ourselves and our emotions and deep diving into it. When I kept looking at myself in the mirror and I didn't see I was worthy enough to wear a nice dress, a nice tight dress, or to date people because I wasn't comfortable with my body, or not having people touch my waist or my neck because I felt there were so many roles there, that was when shadow work really allowed me to deep dive into that. Now, again, like I said, these are little subconscious thoughts that you might not necessarily think are important, but as years come on, it creates this bond of this belief, and it grows it more and more and more. And you start to see it seep into other parts of your life, your professional life, your personal life, your inner perspective of yourself, and it starts to adapt in other parts of your life. That's why I always say that shadow work can allow you to just see a huge transformation in everything, because it's like a bow. When you pull one string, everything else unravels, and you feel this like release. You feel like you've let go so much energy. Number 3 is changing perspective. This one's kind of self-explanatory, but it's very important. Shadow work allows you to really see that your beliefs are different and that you need to shift it. It really allows you to deep dive and say, okay, what beliefs do I have and why do I have to change it? What beliefs do I have and what do I need to do? Those are the things that it really allows us to deep dive into. Changing perspective can really allow you to turn into gratitude. And as you know, manifestation is all about, believing things are in existence. So when we look at gratitude and changing perspective, we start to see, hey, there's so many blessings in my life that I can actually see that this manifestation is going to occur. You start to have this will, your vibration automatically raises. There's so many times when I leave a session, an emotional session, and the next day I feel so much lighter. I feel like my soul has just gone through a huge cleanse of sage. And I don't know if any of you guys have had that experience, if you have done energy work, but it is such an amazing feeling. So that is one of the biggest things. It really changes your perspective. It takes it out from being limited to being expansive, to being abundant, to being, I am the true creator of everything that I can create in my life. Number 4, hiding from your true self. This is huge. If you've gone through a spiritual awakening, if you've been in someone's shadow for so long, in the sense of always living behind someone or not really speaking up for yourself, shadow work and the healing of shadow work can really allow you to come out of that. And this comes down to me when I was in my relationship. I'm sure a lot of you can really relate to this, where I was in an abusive relationship at one point. And when I was in that relationship, I was hiding in that person's shadow. I wasn't speaking up my truth. And I noticed that when I went into shadow work, my throat chakra was so blocked that it started to affect the rest of my other parts of my life. Like I would be in my career or in a work board meeting and I won't speak up about something, or if I know something's wrong, I won't speak up about it, or if I want something, I was just very soft-spoken. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I saw that as like, I can't speak too loud, because that came from a childhood belief. So I had to go back and reroute that. And that's where I'm saying that shadow work is all about allowing yourself to be your true, authentic self, even in times where you're evolving, right? We change in different periods of our life. That's why it's known that we go through different spiritual awakenings in different stages. And every time we go through different stages or spiritual awakenings where the veil is revealed, or we have this new perspective of this world or our situation, or we've gone through a divorce, or we've gone through a breakup, or these little things that people tend to say are just little, and we move on in our life. We're not really giving us that time to just not put time on healing. And, that allows us to just hide behind what we truly feel, hide behind what we truly want, hide behind what is truly right for ourselves. And I think that to me is one of the biggest things about shadow work that I love the best, was feeling like, I can tell someone if they're being toxic to me in a relationship. I can turn around and really speak my truth. I can take that power back into my life. And when I noticed that, I started to see that I would light up at work. I would make sure I was looking for a job that aligned with me energetically. I started to be more abundant because I started to put my business in more of a heart set. Everything in my life, my relationships changed, my energy changed. And in doing that, I was able to be a super attractor and attract so many other things. It was like this cycle of this huge raising vibration and abundance that just kept going and going and going and going because I was so grateful and I was allowing myself to just to be myself. And to say that I'm not afraid of judgment. I'm not afraid of any judgment or self-judgment or self-sabotaging. The fifth reason that really puts everything all together is healing. Shadow work allows you to heal. Shadow work allows you to heal the wounds that you never had time to do so. Have you ever had a moment where maybe you felt a certain emotion and you suppressed it and then, the day moved on? What did you think about that emotion? Did you just think it went away, or did you think that maybe you just worry about it later? That's shadow work. It's going back to those moments. It's allowing you to kind of go through them, feel them, honor them, surrender them, understand them. Because most of these shadow work moments and beliefs and core beliefs come from our childhood, sometimes we're not able to process it at this time, or someone's not there to tell us the right things. So that's kind of going into it. And that's why I really work on, for me, being a Reiki practitioner, being an energy healer, being a mentor. One of the biggest things that I do in my conscious mentoring is we deep dive into, okay, where are you at and where do you want to be? Why are you being called to come to me? The universe always has ways to bring the right people to me. And I always say there's a reason why you're watching this video. There's a reason why things happen the way they do. The energy attracts it, right? So the energy attracts you from watching this. The energy attracts you to deep dive into that, to deep dive into your soul. And there's nothing more important than health is wealth. The moment that you tap into your shadow and you have all this energy within your energy field and your environment, you can automatically easily attract things. And that's why a lot of people always ask me, Shika, how do you manifest things the same day? That's how. I am able to attract things because I'm doing the healing constantly. I'm doing the shadow work. I'm doing the deep diving. I'm not putting a band-aid on it. I'm actually going in and allowing it to heal properly. So there's no scars. That's shadow work. So I really hope you guys really enjoy this video. I really hope you enjoy the depth of what exactly is shadow work and why it impacts our manifestation, our life, and why you should do it, because it really changes your life. It has changed my life out of a traumatic experience, bad relationships, a job that I wasn't happy with corporately, to doing my life-fulfilling job of helping conscious souls. If you feel called to do the inner work, to do shadow work, go and apply to my conscious mentoring. It's down below. It is such a great program that it incorporates personal development, energy healing, all the things. I also do card readings, and I only do a few per week. So if you're interested in that, you can definitely message me on Instagram or via email. All that information is on my Instagram as well as on my website. So I hope you guys are doing so well. I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, as well as put notification bells. I do videos every single day for you beautiful souls. And don't forget to do the inner work, because the inner work is truly where you're going to start to see that your whole life will change right before your eyes so rapidly, including your manifestations. I love you guys so much. See you in the next video. Bye.